Hey guys, it's Josh with Yobo Designs here. Today we're going to talk about this graphic that I made for RKM Setup Shop for week 3. It's got a very cool pink neon effect that I think some of you guys will probably hopefully really like, but we're going to go from start to finish. First thing that I do with all my graphics is I like to put the logos down first for placement to try and understand this is where this is going to go, this is where that's going to go. Patriot Media is the group that I do these graphics with, so their logo goes on there. RKM is a setup shop that this ad is for, so we throw that logo on there. And then what the ad is for, which is that the setups are available, is the message that we're trying to send, so I make sure to have those messages put in there. I cut everything out myself. I don't really do a whole lot of crazy stuff. You can kind of see, like, we're going through with the pencil here. In my opinion, the pencil is going to be the best thing that you can use to do a lot of these edits, to do a lot of these cuts. If you try to use remove background, you're going to get some fuzz around the edges unless you mark your path. But you can see we take our time. We go through the windows, we go through the checkered area. There's a couple different tricks and stuff that you can see that we're pulling off here so that we can select the areas that we're wanting to remove. We're going through and we're selecting everything within the mesh netting, and we're making sure we get it. We drop a background color behind it so that we could see if we've missed any areas. It really helps some of those spots really pop out. Anything that we've missed, we can go back over later with a black brush and just kind of touch up so you can't see any of the white that's left on the edges, but we shouldn't have to do that with this graphic. The last thing that I do with my images is I like to throw some texture on it, texture and clarity, and then mess with the sharpening. I'll mess with all this stuff just to make sure that it's good. Next, I'm going to switch it to a smart document. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to make sure it's in, the pace, and then I'm going to bring it over to the actual graphic where I've already set down the other images that I plan to use. The Milwaukee Mile is where this setup shop is going for the next week, so I think what I'm going to do is just a general kind of center vibe, just put everything in the center there. This is a, just very straightforward. This is the track image that I took from iracing. It's not too complicated. We selected the sky, and then we marked the paths, and then it's about trying to separate the difference between the brightness and the darkness. You can see there, like, how much that gate up there still shows up. So we're going to go through, clean up the gate area. We're going to leave the stairs. But the whole purpose of this is just to kind of clean the image up so there's not as much of a clutter in that spot. There's other areas where we're not as worried about it, but we just want this image to look really clean. The sign is what we're more interested in, is getting that Milwaukee Mile sign. I like to throw that motion blur in there to try and create some blur effects and stuff. I know this is going pretty fast, guys. Doing this video for the first time. We haven't really done it like this. I'm still trying to get into the video editing thing and trying to practice with it. I'm a little uncomfortable speaking to the camera or speaking to myself, but as we go on, we're only going to get better. We're only going to, do a lot better. We're only going to make better graphics. We're only going to make better videos or graphic content. That's the goal here, is to make these setup shops, or to make the graphics and stuff that I put out are supposed to have kind of a cool vibe to them, or at least I like to think that they're a cool vibe. I like to think that it's a message that you can deliver without having a wall of text or without having all this crazy information. Like, if you're a sim racer, you see the logo, you see that car, you know where the cars are going, or you can identify iRacing stuff, like, this stands out. Like, this is really cool. And if you're not a sim racer, this is just something that's just cool to look at. You're just like, man, what is this? This is like really neat. All this is taken in iRacing. Like, these aren't real photos. These aren't anything like that. We're doing hard edges. We don't have to be perfect. Your eye is going to identify a lot of stuff on its own without the additional resources or additional stuff that you can put into it. So if you can mask out enough to where that becomes available and you can recognize it, somebody else is going to recognize it too. And that's the biggest part, is to make sure that your recognizable features are still there. By the way, if you guys are getting anything from this little speed edit, go ahead, please like and subscribe. It really helps out. Leave in the comments something that you would like to see, maybe a video on how I delete backgrounds, or maybe how I change colors or something like that. But I would love to share that information with you guys and really kind of bring out your creative sides and help motivate you to go out and try this. When I started doing this, I had no idea what I was doing. I used to play with Adobe when I was in 8th grade. That was 20-something years ago. I stopped playing with it. I got more interested in football. I was doing more football stuff than I was anything else. And the whole thing is play, man. Like, just play, just have fun. Like, find a way to get your creative side out there, regardless if it's perfect or not. Like, it's not going to be perfect the first time. You're going to mess up. You're going to have some problems. People are going to tell you what they don't like about it, and you're going to have to make those adjustments, because that's just part of the gig, right? That's part of the job, and how you're going to get that message out there. And you guys can see, like, we're adding our effects now. In the video, we're dropping our dust overlays and some particles, just enough to give textures to the images. I'm going to go ahead and hit the edges with a bright pink outline, or a bright pink color, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. We're going to drop more things in and out. We're going to constantly change the layers. Like, you should not set it down and be like, that's it, that's done, that's what I want. Like, you should be able to move those things around, things, kind of touch up on things, figure out what it is that you're really liking out of that graphic, and be able to kind of piece those things together. And I know it's not the most comprehensive video, it's not the most detailed video on how to do things. What I want to do is motivate you to go out and try to do something. These are graphics from a video game. Make your graphics. Do a weekly, this is what we're racing this week, this is what we're racing next week for your league. Promote yourself on social media. But stuff like this really does help get your message across and really does help other people learn. And that's what I want to share with others is that experience and that learning, the adventure and the journey. If you guys really enjoyed the content, please hit that like and subscribe. Hopefully next week I'll bring you guys something that's a little bit more educational. I'm still trying to get used to this. This is the first time I'm using this program for audio as well. So let me know how the audio sounds in the comments. But other than that, that's all I got for this one, guys. And I appreciate you guys hanging out and just kind of checking the video out to begin with. So we will see you guys next time.